Boom, boom, boom. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Soul Food Books. Give a holler and applause if you're alive and awake tonight. Yeah. It's good to see you guys tonight. We've been on a wild ride of February with musicians coming in every weekend from styles across the board. Earlier today, we were sitar jamming over in the corner. It seems like the neighborhood is making it through the winter, and there's been little bits of sunshine come out, and it's been nice to be waking up again. Tonight is a night dedicated to waking up and bringing music to the forefront of our stage. Tonight, some sweet sisters have come to play for us, and we're going to start the night off with one of them, Miss Sirithiri. Let's welcome her to the stage.
I have drum sound number 9. Hold on. You wanted that, didn't you? Yes, you did. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Thank you. Thank you. My name is Siri Barterson, and my twin likes my concept of Sirithiri, which is a completely undeveloped concept. So I wish I could tell you more about that. But more will be revealed. And as I expand my whatever the heck it is I'm doing. So I'm here with my fabulous twin, the fabulous singer-songwriter Karin Blaine, and many years ago we did a lot of this together. And now that I have this, what my guitar playing friend calls the evil looper, I don't need her anymore. Never have to split the take, never have to argue. So So that's kind of some of the stuff I'm up to, but other things are a lot more linear. So I'm going to do a tune I used to do a long time ago with a cabaret quartet. Um, Cole Porter tune called Miss Otis Regrets. Miss Otis regrets she's unable to lunch today. Miss Otis regrets she's unable to lunch today. She is sorry to be delayed, but last evening down in Lover's Lane she strayed. Well, Miss Otis regrets she's unable to lunch today. When she woke up and found her dream of love was gone, she ran to the man who had led her so far astray. And from under her velvet gown, she took her gun and shot her lover down. Madam, Miss Otis regrets she's unable to lunch today. When the crowd came down, they dragged her from that jail. Madam, they hung her upon the old willow across the way. In the moment before she died, she lifted up her lovely head and cried, Madam, Miss Otis regrets she's unable to lunch. Miss Otis regrets she's unable to lunch. Miss Otis regrets she's unable to lunch today. Thank you. Well, I'm trying to get off my book, you know, and this is the thing. This is the challenge about being. Raise your hand if you're a cello player or a string player of any kind. Well, you know, when you're a classical player, you can read anything, but trying to move out of the box is been a really big deal. So I have some music here, and I'm old and I need glasses, and I keep thinking I can get off my book, but I still need it for some things. But there's some kind of tunes that aren't really about music. Oh, you know what? Sometimes you just, I tripped. I got to do that all over again. See, this is when Karen's better. I do believe that live music is best. Believe me, this is all an experiment. Someone told me, yeah, baby, it was over when I saw you and that girl talking. Something deep down in my soul said, cry, girl, when I saw you and that girl walking. Ooh, well, I would rather be blind, boy, than to see you walk away from me now. 'Cause I love you so much, you know I love you so much. I don't wanna see you walk away, and most of all, oh baby, well I just don't wanna be free. Ooh, I was just sitting here thinking about your sweet kiss, oh, and your warm embrace. When I saw my reflection in the glass, oh, I was holding my reflection, and those tears just a-streaming down my face. Ooh, oh baby, oh, I would rather be blind than to see you walk away from me now. Oh, baby, I love you so much, I love you so much, yeah, I do. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, well, here's one of those loop things again. I have this really long joke that I usually tell about, well, I'll tell it. Actually, it's not a joke, it's a true story. So I live up on Whidbey Island, and I was at the Loganberry Festival in July, not to be missed. And I was just starting this exploration on the electric cello, and I heard this marimba band, and I thought, God, you know, why is it that classical music, I mean, where's the junction of classical music and popular culture and things like marimba bands, for God's sake? And so, you know, I went home and I went out on the internet. And, you know, everything's out there. And it's all true. And I did a little research. And, you know, apparently, a long time ago, I was thinking, why couldn't Bach have had an encounter with a marimba band? Well, it turns out that in October, long ago, he had one of these, you know, a Vienna church gig, one of his big church gigs. That's how they all made their living in those days. And it was a Saturday, and he was there with his page turner, and they were at the harpsichord, you know, figuring out what was going to happen at the service. You know how this goes, Robin. And the priest or the minister, he was down in the south of the country because it was blessing the hops, because it was almost Oktoberfest, and nobody was around. And these missionaries show up with this marimba band in tow. And they knock on the door, and Bach goes, dude, cool, set them up in the courtyard. So they dragged the harpsichord out there, you know, ran down the street, got the viola da gamba player, you know, the precursor to the cello with the frets, the 5 strings. You held it through your knees and walked around. Of course, you were a man, you weren't a woman. And they had this jam. And, this is all that's left of that. There's just this one little piece of sheet music that I found online. And, it's all in the public domain because it's so long ago. It's called Bach's Marimba Gig. This one again. Boy, I hope I can do this. Can you even hear that? I found that drumstick on the floor of my garage because I have a 19-year-old. That was his favorite part. You can hear some themes. It was a jam. Collaboration. You'll never hear that anywhere else. Only at Soulfood Books in Redmond. That's right. Oh my gosh. Well. I'm an older person and, woman. And I've got this, I think this is an all ages dilemma, but I've got this shoe thing. All the women in the room are nodding their head. So I wrote a song called New Pair of Shoes. And if you're a woman who can't relate to this, it's just because you're not quite old enough, but it will happen. I was hoping to write a love song, a tale of what can go wrong. Regular glitterati tour de force. They say to write what you know, and when I looked into my soul, this is what I found to my dismay. Did you know a new pair of shoes can cure the blues? The perfect fit. Oh, baby, that's just it. New pair of shoes. backless or strapless, kid glove or suede, dropping $10 at Payless, or Italian handmade. Oh, did you know a new pair of shoes can cure the blues? I thought perhaps a lover would help me rediscover that zest that you know is just up and left. I met a man, he was so fine but alone that night, and out online I pressed proceed to check out, much too quick. Did you know a new pair of shoes can cure the blues? To walk in style, whoa, that just makes me smile. New pair of shoes. When I was young, I went barefoot, and I felt so free. But now, Carrie Bradshaw, Sex in the City, that girl ain't got nothing on me. Ooh, did you know a new pair of shoes can cure the blues? I went to counseling with my husband. We came up with a new plan. We're going to listen deeply and to share. He started to talk about his day, and I am just ashamed to say my mind wandered to a sexy sequined pair. Did you know a new pair of shoes can cure the blues? I've lost my place. New pair of shoes. I drove over to the next town just so I could wear a pair of new knee-high boots, and no one would have recognized me there. Did you know a new pair of shoes can cure the blues? Freud would have a field day, and I can guess what he'd say. It's probably an envy of some kind. But the kids are gone. The family dog has died. My spouse snores softly at my side. And I ask myself, is this really it? Did you know a new pair of shoes can cure the blues? To discover, whoa, some hot new color, whoa, new pair of shoes. I meet the FedEx guy at the corner, so my old man won't suspect I'm stuffing all that cardboard in the attic, although it's environmentally incorrect. Whoa. Did you know a new pair of shoes? Well, did you know a new pair of shoes can cure the blues? Thank you. I'm going to get my twin up here pretty quick. What do you say there, sis? What? Well, do you think that'd be nice? I think the looper can do that. See, this is one more reason why. Am I playing anything right here now? No. Do you want me up here? Yeah. What should we do? Our guitar things? Okay. This is my fabulous twin, the singer-songwriter, Karin Blaine. And Sirithiri. Siri and I had a folk duo a gazillion years ago called Ditto. And we looked exactly the same then, and somehow our hair is pretty much the same now. So I feel like we've, come full circle. Same color, but we're going to kick off this little next portion of the set with one of Siri's tunes.
Oh, we're going to do that? Okay, great.
There's a very
We're used to it. It's okay.
there's a very devoted activist anti-war group that is out in the Park and Ride on South Whitby every Saturday morning at 10. Yeah. And our dear father, who's gone now, was one of the sign wavers for many years. And so you have to say how
So
you
one day I went
asked him.
it was on Saturday at noon. They'd go for an hour, the Peace people there at Baby Corner, and I'd say, Dad, so how's it going? How many people showed up? And you said, well, 20 people and 3 dogs. And I thought, I'm going to write a song. So I did. Here it is, 20 people and 3 dogs. Just yesterday, he was driving along in his SUV on his way to his pretty good job. Or you could say that he was happy. Well, he stopped at the light and he looked to the left, not right. Well, they caught him a little off guard. They was waving signs saying peace. They were waving signs saying no war. There was 20 people and 3 dogs. Well, he slunk down in his leather seat and he looked the other way, trying to think of exactly what he could say to those signs waving peace. Oh, to those signs saying no war. To those 20 people and 3 dogs. Well, he once was a dove, but that was the summer of love. Last November he forgot to vote. He's been busy keeping his personal boat afloat. But now there's signs saying peace. Now there's signs saying no war. Now there's 21 people and 3 dogs. What does it take? Oh, just to make a little change. Maybe just the willingness to stand out in the rain. Do what you can. You gotta stake a stand. Come on and save the USA. Oh, where's Jimmy? You're all too young. Don't underestimate this crowd. Just yesterday, she was driving along in her SUV on her way to her pretty good job. Oh, you could say that she was happy. Well, she stopped at the light and she looked to the left, not right. Well, they caught her a little off guard. They were waving signs saying peace. They were waving signs saying no war. There was 21 people. Oh, 21 people. There was 21 people and 3 dogs.
Thank you. Thank you very much. We want to thank everybody for coming out tonight. And how many people here are from the Redmond area? All right. Yeah.
Thank you for being here.
All right.
You're probably regulars and come here all the time and hear fabulous, fabulous stuff.
Yeah, there's a lot of good music that goes down here, definitely. Did you announce the song already? Well, this is a Loudon Wainwright song. Maybe the younger generation knows Rufus Wainwright, his daughter. But Loudon Wainwright his dad was actually the editor of Life magazine. And, but he was a songwriter, and he was married to the Kate and Anna McGarrigle sisters. I don't know which one. It's kind of like this. You never quite know who you're with. And, but he wrote this song a million years ago. Karin and I have been singing this forever, called Absence. Well, absence makes the heart grow fonder. In my mind it begins to wander back to happier days. I guess you could say that you were taken for granted. I went on and I raved and I ranted, whoa, in my tyrannical ways. But now things are different, 'cause now you're gone. And I'm not so sure that I can carry on. Well, I always knew you were important to me, but now I know you are a necessity. Otherwise, I start to go insane. Things weren't easy when we were together. We had plenty of days of lousy weather, but now I'm in a hurricane. And I'm gonna grieve and I'm gonna moan, 'cause you're not here and I'm all alone. Well, the joke's on me, you get the last laugh. I found out the hard way who was my better half, and now I know how much I care. And I'm gonna grieve and I'm gonna moan, 'cause you're not here and I'm all alone. Well, the next time I see you, expect some champagne wine, and on Valentine's Day expect a Valentine, 'cause now I know how much I care. Oh yeah, well now I know how much I care. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Well, after Ditto, we became the Blaine Sisters Band. We picked up a bass player and a band dog and leased a van, and occasionally we had a fabulous sax player, and occasionally we had a drummer, and we hit the road.
But anyway, before we got the bass player, we were doing a little folk gig up in Bellingham, and during the break, I always had a hard time keeping track of Siri. You can probably tell she's the wilder one of the two of us. And it's really, it's just the truth. And
I'm actually a school teacher.
well, yeah, now she's a school teacher. But back then, she was not a school teacher. So I noticed that she was talking to the suspicious-looking character in a cowboy hat. And I knew we were in trouble right then. And he was pointing at the speaker and talking about, apparently, the sound system, which is kind of an innovative way to get to a woman's heart. But I guess if she's a musician, that can work. Anyway, Siri hired him on as our bass player. So we had our bass player, this cowboy, who actually had never played bass before. Ever. He was just the smoothest talker you ever met, and he was a fabulous mandolin player. It all worked out well, but in the I don't know what the moral of the story is, but we tried to capture that moment about you never know how things are going to go with this little
You
song.
know, love is always worth one tune. I mean,
One
if
tune?
nothing else happens, dang, don't
know-
forget. Anybody here with a broken heart, go home and get the notebook out.
Right. One song, and I'm thinking 5 to 10 pounds. Depends. Loss. This is a song called In the Middle of Nowhere, capturing those old days.
Well, she was driving across the country in a Hertz rented car when late at night she got a flat tire. Well, in the middle of nowhere,
In the middle of nowhere.
across that Montana border.
Montana border.
Welcome to the country, welcome city girl.
Well, she walked up to a cowboy, said, I need a hand. And he said, I'll be pleased to help you, ma'am.
Well, in the middle of nowhere,
In the middle of nowhere.
across that Montana border.
Montana border.
Welcome to the country, welcome city girl. Well, he fixed her flat. Then they went for a beer. A little while later, he was calling her dear in the middle of nowhere.
In the middle of nowhere.
Across that Montana border.
Montana border.
Welcome to the country, welcome city girl. You know he wore cowboy boots.
She wore high heel shoes.
He liked bluegrass.
She loved the blues.
He said the city was a place to leave.
And she found country boys a little naive.
Now she's working a farm and frying eggs and ham. She's perfectly happy with her countryman, yeah, in the middle of nowhere. Across that Montana border. Welcome to the country, welcome city girl. You know he wore Tony Lama.
She wore high heel tennis shoes.
He loved Bill Monroe.
And she loved Aretha Franklin.
He loved Swiss steak,
She
TV
was a
dinners.
French cuisine.
But they found something in common, if you know what I mean. Now mixing city and country, you might say fat chance, but there ain't no accounting for true romance in the middle of nowhere. The middle of nowhere.
Across that Montana border. We ain't talking Redmond.
Welcome to the country, welcome city girl. You can probably get in that kind of trouble around here.
Are there any cows over here? Well, welcome to the country.
Welcome city girl. Well, how you like the country? How you like it, city girl?
Every word of it true. Every word of it true.
We had a lot of fun back in those days. The beautiful thing about music is,
So many beautiful things.
there's so many beautiful things, truly. But, it stays with you forever and ever. And so I know Siri and I feel so fortunate to
still be playing and picking and grinning, and it's just a beautiful thing. And of course, we have to thank venues like Soulfood Books that are
Still
so
committed to live music.
committed to live music.
Yeah.
Well, I'm satisfied and I'm a tickled too. I know when the baby, well, I'm in love with you. Well, I'm satisfied and I'm a tickled too, yeah. Knowing, no, baby, well, I'm in love with you, yeah. And baby, now oh now I. Well, I'm going downtown with my hat caved in, coming home, baby, with my pockets a jingling. Well, I'm going downtown with my hat caved in, coming home, baby, with my pockets a jingling. And baby, now oh baby, now You know that little red hen said to the little red rooster, "I rooster, you don't come around my chicken shack like you used to." Oh no, rooster. You know, a little red hen said to the little red rooster, "Hey baby, you don't come around my chicken shack like you used to." No, like you used to. And I ain't been nothing. Nada. Oh, I love you, baby. I love you, pretty one. Wrap your arms around me like a circle around the sun. Well, I love you, baby. I love you, pretty one. Wrap your arms around me like a circle around the sun. And baby, now oh baby, I love you. Well, I'm satisfied, tickled too, knowing, baby, well, I'm in love with you. You know I'm satisfied and I'm a tickled too, and I know when, baby, I'm in love with you, yeah. And baby, now baby, I love you.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Feel like singing? G? I'm just not a bass player, but you'd think it'd be the same, but it's really not. Daniel should just probably come up here and play the bass. We'll talk about that later, but anyway. We're running through it? Yeah, I'm good, I think. How does it start? Yeah. song rehearsal. What do you expect? Don't tell them. Well, there are people that live for the moment, the moment, the moment, the moment. Others who don't seem to get much enjoyment. Enjoyment, well, some are always glad, others always sad. Lately, I've been feeling somewhere in between. Ooh, it's a funny feeling. Love is what I mean. Yes, I'm so in love. Can't tell down from up above. Down, down, down from up above. I feel like singing. Yes, I'm so in love. Can't tell down from up above. Down, down, down from up above. I feel like singing, yeah, yeah. Singing about the love, singing, 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 singing. Yes, I'm so in love. Can't tell down from up above. Down, 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 down. She's so in love. We're going to take a quick break. Don't go away. We'll be back.
Thank you.